Hi there, it's Tom Cassidy here. I've got Dr. Mark Rogers from Australia with me today, and we're going to be talking about his new program. It's called Reasonable Confidence, and it's all about being confident in everyday situations. How to be confident and true to yourself, not faking it, not doing all this big rah-rah, sort of forcing yourself to be confident. And Mark, why don't you just give us a little bit of an idea about the program overview? Say hi to the guys.
Hi everyone.
What I'll do is I'll pop up the actual wheel that you've done, and then you can talk everyone through this, and then we'll come back to hear a little bit more about you in the next one. So this is should be able to see this. Can you see the overview wheel now?
Yes, yeah, I can.
Fantastic. So why don't you talk us through how you've set it up? Because obviously people are aware that we're doing this is a 13 by 4 program. It's a one thing at a time program. But talk through why you've chosen these. Not so much detail, but just give us a brief overview. That'd be really helpful.
Sure, yeah, thanks. So in the middle, we have a confident you, and that's really, I guess, as you've seen with lots of the 13 by 4 concepts, it's kind of the awareness stage where you are becoming aware of what you need to do, thinking about what you want to do. And so it's really in this stage where we're thinking about ourselves and how it is that we're going to be confident. Because we're using the word confidence, but it has lots of different meanings for different people, doesn't it? I mean, some people have pretty, even negative connotations around that word, that it's about arrogance or, pushiness, being, or being extremely extroverted. But it's really not about any particular personality type. It's not about the sort of things that you do. It is a much deeper thing than that. It's it's the sense of knowing that you belong here, that you have value, not because of the things that you think or the things that you do or the things that you own or even the things that you want to do, but just by virtue of the fact that, that you're here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess, between people, there's two main ways of thinking about how we get to be here, as human beings on the earth. Whichever story it is that you subscribe to is a pretty amazing story. There's a pretty amazing story behind all of us and how it is that we get to be here. And it's kind of learning to have that deep appreciation, first of all, that, as you said, it's not trying to become someone that you aren't. It's just trying to find in yourself that seed of confidence that's in there in every living thing.
That's so powerful. I really love it. Now, just on the final sort of overview, talk us through the different colours. So you've got the confident you in the middle, which is kind of a dark red, and I'm assuming there's no particular reason for the colours, but I've noticed around the outside you've got some red segments and some purple segments. So what's that all about?
Sure. Well, so obviously we're going to be looking at one thing at a time as we go through the weeks, as in all the 13 by 4 concepts. And the way that it's arranged here is that the red ones are basically things that we're doing with our body to try to influence our whole being. The things in the purpley colour are more things that we're doing with our mind or cognitive approaches, because the two, of course, are intimately intertwined. I mean, with my scientist hat on, it kind of doesn't make sense to say the mind and the body interact, because the mind is the functioning of the brain, and of course the brain is a part of the body.
Yeah.
So it's all the same system. But of course, when we come to think about how we can actually do things in practice, how we can use these ideas to help ourselves and others, then it just makes perfect sense to talk about the mind and the body as being separate things, because that's how it feels. That's intuitively true.
Yeah.
And so, what we have as we cycle through the weeks is we have particular physical things that we do, and then we have some cognitive things. And the physical things are really just like simple, well, they're kind of like learning to ride a bike, I guess. Different bikes that we learn to ride as we go through the weeks, and each of those help us to feel more confident in ourselves and also to communicate that, in appropriate ways to other people.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we've done a lot of videos now on all the little different sections, but that's a lovely overview. And why did you go for final thing? Why did you go for "and true to yourself"? Why do you think that that's such a big deal?
Well, I think that that gets back to what you were saying in your nice introduction about how it's not about thinking that you have to take on a certain persona in
Right.
order to be confident. You even if you can't remember a time, consciously remember any time when you were confident. It is actually in all of us. It's not being extroverted. It's not going out clubbing every night. It's not anything that, it's not pointing to a particular person who, when we think of confidence, we might think of a particular person, a movie star, or someone who embodies that. But that's just one way of doing that. And, to be honest, a lot of the people who do those sorts of things are, in part they're covering up for,
Yeah.
a sense of actually not feeling quite so confident deep down in themselves. And so, yeah, it is, it's just, because some people think, oh, why do I want to be confident? They think of the confident people they know, and maybe they,
Yeah.
they're sometimes not nice people to be around. But
Yeah.
that's it's a bit of a problem with the English language. That word can encompass what I want it to encompass, but it can also,
Yeah.
have negative connotations for other people. So the idea is that it's just, you're not going to become anybody else.
Yeah.
You're just going to become, if you like, the you that you should be, maybe the you that you want to be,
That's
or the
fantastic.
you that you can be.
Mark, that's amazing. Thanks very much. That's a lovely summary of the whole program. Looking forward to diving deep into these topics because I'm sort of itching to ask you questions on these already, but one thing at a time. And
Yeah, thanks very much.
yeah, thanks very much for that overview. And what we'll be doing is underneath this video, you'll be able to see a link where you can get a little bit more information and some free samples of some of the things that Mark's been putting together. So see you on the next video. And again, thanks very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.